I'm gonna show you how to make my favorite bakery treat for fall. It is orange cranberry bread, and you're gonna love the glaze. Check this out. Hey everybody, it's Natasha of NatashasKitchen.com. We are making a cranberry loaf. The first time I tried this was at a bakery and I fell in love with it, and I was like, I have to recreate this. And I actually think this one is even better. It's more moist, more loaded with cranberries. It is so delicious. You can make it ahead. It's perfect for gift giving. Homemade gifts are the best. And I'm craving some cranberry bread, so let's get started. Plus, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you get more recipes and tips. We're gonna start with some quick prep. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit with a rack in the center, then generously brush the inside of a bread loaf pan with butter. Next, dust the inside of the pan with flour and tap out the excess. This simple step will keep your bread from sticking to the pan. Set that aside, and we're gonna get right into making this easy cranberry bread. In a medium mixing bowl, whisk together 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now in a measuring cup, combine 1/4 cup of room temperature milk. Also add the zest from 1 orange, and I like to zest a little bit extra and set it aside. You'll need it later to make the orange glaze. You always want to zest the orange before you cut it, because once it's juiced, it's pretty much impossible to zest it. And I will leave links to the zester and juicer that I love to use. Add 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed orange juice to your milk mixture. And it's okay to get a little bit of pulp in there, don't worry about that, there's no need to strain the juice. Simply stir together your wet ingredients and set that aside. I'm also going to set aside some of that extra orange zest that we'll use for the glaze later. Now it's time for this batter to come together. In a large mixing bowl, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Cream the butter and sugar together. I like to beat on medium-high speed for about 2 to 3 minutes. Next, beat in 2 large room temperature eggs. Beat that together until the eggs are really well incorporated. Once the mixture has a uniform, smooth consistency, we're gonna add the flour mixture in 2 parts. So start with half of your flour mixture and beat that until it's incorporated. Then add half of your milk mixture, beating until combined. Then repeat, adding the rest of your flour mixture, mix until combined, and add the remaining milk mixture. Be sure to scrape down the bowl to make sure that you have all of the flour well incorporated. Continue mixing on medium-low speed just until it's well combined and smooth. Now you'll need 1½ cups of fresh cranberries. It's a generous amount. These have been rinsed and dried. And to keep them from sinking to the bottom of the loaf, I like to add a little bit of flour, just ½ a tablespoon of flour. Toss that together with the cranberries to coat. Gently fold the cranberries into the batter. Once the cranberries are well incorporated in the batter, transfer the batter to the prepared bread pan. Make sure you get every last drop of delicious batter out of that bowl. I do like to even out the top of the bread to make sure it rises evenly in the oven. Now bake in the center of a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 to 50 minutes, or until the top is golden and a toothpick inserted into the center of the loaf comes out clean without any wet batter. You might poke your toothpick into a couple of spots just in case you hit a juicy cranberry. Once it's done baking, and your kitchen should smell like a bakery right about now, take it out of the oven and let it rest in the pan for about 10 minutes. You want the loaf to be just cool enough to safely transfer and handle. Also, just to make sure that the bread comes out quickly and easily, I do like to run a thin spatula or a knife around the edges of the pan. Transfer the loaf onto a wire rack and let it cool completely to room temperature before applying the glaze. While that's cooling, we can get started on making the glaze. In a small mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of powdered sugar, then add 1.5 tablespoons of freshly squeezed orange juice, or add enough juice to reach your desired consistency. Last but not least, we're gonna add about 1 teaspoon of that reserved orange zest. Stir that all together until it's really smooth and creamy. You want it to be a drizzleable consistency, so if you need to thin it out, add a little more orange juice, and if you want it thicker, add some powdered sugar.
Ooh, look at that. Perfect for drizzling. And then seriously, adding the zest into the glaze. It's just 3 ingredients, okay? But it's next level. You can really taste the orange flavor in it, so don't skip it. Okay, as soon as your glaze is made, and your loaf is almost at room temperature. Mine's still a little warm, but we're gonna do this anyways because I can't wait any longer. What I like to do is I like to put the bread onto a rack and then set a paper towel underneath when drizzling so it kind of captures the mess. Or you can just put it on a platter and just have the drizzle pool at the bottom, whatever you wanna do. Get the drizzle on, okay? Get the glaze on. Here we go. Okay, check out this beauty. All right, and be generous with that glaze. Keep in mind the bread isn't overly sweet, so this glaze is really a nice touch. All right, and once it's about done dripping, we're gonna put that on the cutting board and slice it up. Oh. Here we go. Oh, and this is so soft and easy to slice, but take a look at this slice. How soft, tender, and moist the crumb is. It's amazing. Oh, it's still a little bit warm. Oh, so fresh. All right, I'm just gonna jump right into this taste test. And you know what stays soft and moist for like 3 days at room temperature? Seriously? Yum. Okay. Oh. I love the tanginess and juiciness of those cranberries and how they just burst in your mouth. And when you bake them, they do take on a natural sweetness, so they're not like so crazy tart anymore. This is wonderful, and I love that it's not too sweet. The cranberries balance it perfectly, and then the orange glaze is such a treat. It's like orange in the loaf, orange on top of the loaf. Orange and cranberry are like a match made in heaven. So good. I can't wait to have the rest of this. I'm thinking with a cup of coffee. This is like the perfect morning snack, even though it's 3 in the afternoon. for tomorrow. All right, I hope you guys love this, and we'll see you in our next video. Also, because we work from home and we need to find ways to entertain ourselves, we're gonna do a new game, Find Sharky. Sharky was in our video somewhere along the way, and I wanna know if you spotted him, all right? Okay. Also, he's our new taste tester. Yum!